We are taking over your airwaves in 3, 2, 1.
Check the mic and make sure it sound right, boys.
Wake up, today's gonna be a good day. Wake up, today's gonna be a good day. Wake up, today's gonna be a good day. Wake up, today's gonna be a good day.
Good morning, Zebras. You are watching the Zebra Morning Show, and it is Monday, November 11th, 2024. It's a blue day. I'm Mr. Nessie, coming to you live from the Julian Nicholas Podcast Studio, and I am joined this morning, because it's Maestro Monday, with a fine maestra, Miss Rolfs. Good morning.
Good morning.
How are you today?
Bright-eyed and bushy-tailed.
There you go. You got your dunk. Are you a hot chocolate gal, coffee gal, tea gal?
Definitely hot coffee in the morning, and then I'll switch to like an iced around 2, 3 o'clock.
Now, how do you take your coffee?
This is a Dunkin' Midnight roast, so I like darker the better, and then I add oat milk and some sort of maybe caramel swirl or sugar. It depends.
Speaking of oat milk, because you went there, are you an oat milk drinker beyond coffee, or are you still a dairy milk person?
Definitely a non-dairy milk person. I will say, though, since like looking at the different milk options lately at Whole Foods, I discovered coconut milk is actually way better than oat milk. So I switched to coconut milk for smoothies and things of that nature, and then oat milk is strictly for coffee. So
Okay.
I'll indulge a little bit, you know.
I'm a dairy. I do like my whole milk for sure, but my house has switched over to oat milk.
Yeah, I mean, I think the flavor is really good. It's a little bit healthier. And dairy just like never affected me well. I don't know why. I just don't really like the taste of milk anymore. So, yeah, I've been converted.
Okay. All right. Well, speaking of converting, let's do the weather.
We'll make it sweet. We'll make it short. Now here for you is the weather report.
The weather, baby.
Buenos dias, ladies and gentlemen. It is currently 58 degrees and partly sunny here in New Brunswick. We're going up to a high of 67. And as I look ahead at the week, I think fall has finally set in.
I agree.
Gone are the 70-degree days as far as I can tell. And it should be winter before you know it.
I know. Even yesterday, it was a little chilly towards the end of the day. And I'm ready for sweater weather, clearly, but I don't know.
And you've got a classic scrunchie there as well?
I do. I forget where I got this guy.
That is a large scrunchie.
It is a large scrunchie, but I have very thick hair, so I kind of need something.
Okay, a little more power.
Exactly.
Nice. All right, let's get into the announcements. And Miss Rolfs is going to help us out this morning, but I'll start us off. Did you know that we are also a podcast? You can listen to the Zebra Morning Show on demand wherever you listen to podcasts. Scan the cute little dino code there, and you can listen to the second half of the show anytime, anywhere. And here is Miss Morano with our quote of the day.
Good morning. This is Miss Morano with your quote of the day. At the end of the day, we can endure much more than we think we can. Frida Kahlo.
Thank you, Miss Morano. All right, Miss Rolfs, you're up. What is today?
Today is National Sunday Day and Veterans Day.
Shout out to all of our veterans.
Yes, thank you, veterans.
What are your thoughts on Sundays?
You know what? I haven't had a true Sunday since going to my grandma's. I did see her pretty recently, but she's known for doing the whole banana split type Sunday.
Okay.
I like them, but I can't eat that much ice cream. So it's
The whole dairy thing.
Yeah, and it's a lot of dairy. I mean, you can make a non-dairy one, obviously, but
Oatly makes little tubs of ice cream that you can get.
yeah, I've had those. They're pretty good.
Favorite Sunday topping?
Ooh, hot fudge for sure. I do like the maraschino cherries, though. That you
Okay.
put in like a Shirley Temple.
Oh, yeah.
Amazing.
I will give you a hot fudge tip. You go to your favorite ice cream place. Instead of having them put the hot fudge on it, say, could you put the hot fudge on the side? And you'll get a little bit more hot fudge because they'll fill up a little cup.
Smart.
Yes,
I'll
I
have
try.
to try that.
All right, today in history, in 1918, it's Armistice Day. World War I ended on November 11th, 1918. In 1921, we had the dedication of the Tomb of the Unknown Soldier in Washington, D.C. And in 1942 on this date, the draft age was lowered to 18.
Did they ever raise it?
No. And then shortly thereafter, we got rid of our draft.
You'll be spared.
Yes. Students, we've got great clubs here at New Brunswick High School. Here are the clubs meeting today.
We have the Zebra Podcast Network from 2:45 to 3:45 p.m., meeting in B119.
Excellent. The Daily Tech Table is available for you to get your technology replaced or serviced in the library from 7:45 to 8 o'clock and from 8:15 to 8:30, as well as 1 o'clock to 1:45. Remember, students, you must have your physical student ID or they're not helping you. Ms. Rolfs, do you teach an 8-9 class?
So blue days, yes, and then white days, it's my prep. So yeah, my students know that they have to go early to get it.
Right. You don't like it when kids show up to 8-9. I don't have a computer, miss.
Yeah, I mean, we try to circumnavigate that by working on paper, but it's not ideal. So
Got you. So go during advisory, folks. Make it easy.
all right, yearbook announcement. There is, I guess, a $50 fee for the yearbook this year until winter break. You can order during advisory with Mr. McDermott or Miss Esposito in D204. Online orders can also be placed with a card. Links and more information are available on their Instagram page, NBHS_yearbook or YB.
Have you done announcements before? You're pretty
No,
good.
I have not.
Never?
Never.
All right. Key Club is doing their annual food drive. Donations can be dropped off during your advisory. The advisory class that collects the most items will win a free breakfast. And you can check out posters and flyers around the school for suggested items to donate. You can see Miss Andreessen in C205 if you have any questions.
Ooh, the blood drive's coming up. So November 19th, it'll be in the wrestling room. You can book an appointment by November 15th, which is coming up this week. If you're only 16 years old, you must submit a signed consent form. They're available on the Key Club bulletin board on the second floor in C-Pod or in C205. You're going to return your forms to Miss Andreessen, again in C205, or Miss Oviedo in D215.
Are you a blood giver?
I am not. I think I'm anemic, so I've always been really afraid to give blood, but NHS used to do a blood drive, so I would participate and help facilitate the blood drive. So it's nice to see it coming back with Key Club.
Yes. And the Hispanic Culture Club.
Mm-hmm.
I'm a blood giver, so I'm looking forward to giving some blood this year. And if you are a faculty member who wants to give, you get to skip the line. So head down to the wrestling room on that day. No appointment necessary for staff. And I'm just assuming that.
Yeah.
Just kind of figure.
100%. They always let the staff go first.
Yes. Students, get involved. Join Student Council. They meet every first and third Thursday in B321 from 2:45 to 3:45. And your class councils, they meet every second and fourth Thursday in B321. Visit nbstudentcouncil.com for more information about student government and follow them on Instagram at nbhs.stuco.
Hey Zebras!
I'm Angela.
And I'm Michelle, and we are excited to introduce this year's peer-to-peer podcast for the 2024 and 2025 school year.
What is peer-to-peer, you ask? Well, it's a space where we, as peer leaders, bring you the real stories from high school, shared by our very own peer leaders.
That's right. Peer leadership is all about guiding and supporting others, and through this podcast, we'll be talking about everything from overcoming challenges to finding balance in school life.
We'll also be offering advice specifically for our underclassmen, helping you navigate high school like a pro.
So join us each episode as we explore the highs, the lows, and everything in between.
This is Peer-to-Peer, where your story matters. Subscribe wherever you listen to podcasts.
Hello, my name is Alana, and I am the host of Saso Latino, the all-Spanish podcast here in New Brunswick High School, and this is brought to you by the Hispanic Culture Club. We talk about many different topics in Saso Latino, like cultures all around the world, food, music, and you can find more from us in Instagram at NBHSHCC, and you can also go to zebrapodcastnetwork.com/sazonlatino.
Students, make sure you get involved with your classes, get connected in the Google Classroom, and also follow your class on Instagram. Happy birthday to anybody whose birthday it is today. Miss Rolfs, is it your birthday?
No, I'm a summer baby, so I don't get to celebrate during the school year. I'm July 1st.
Oh, well, happy belated birthday.
Oh, thank you so much.
Now, if Miss Rolf's birthday was today, we could have given her a birthday shout out from all of us here at the Zebra Morning Show. And you can do that because they are free. All you have to do is let me know and I will shout out your birthday, and I'll let you know how to contact the show in just a second. What's not free? Zebra Podcast Network merch. Scan the Dino code. We've got t-shirts, hoodies, hats, water bottles, stickers, all sorts of stuff for all of the shows here on the Zebra Podcast Network. And we don't make any money, but if we started seeing people wearing our stuff, that would make us feel good.
I have a couple students interested, so I'm going to...
Buying gear?
Yeah, I'm going to encourage them to...
Well, I'm going to leave the Dino code up for an extra couple of seconds because you show this in advisory, right?
I do. Yep.
So you want to say hi to your advisory?
Hi, guys.
And she's right there, too. Scan the code, kids. Julian's mom said her birthday is July 2nd.
No way.
Yeah, we got people watching. Good morning to Junior as well. Junior in Mexico. If you want to get your announcement or a shout out on the morning show, you can visit our website, zebrapodcastnetwork.com, and you could submit something on the Google form. You can submit us a voicemail, which is preferred because this is a podcast. And now, the Zebra Sports Desk. Good morning, Zebra sports fans. Last week on November 4th, girls volleyball, they were defeated by Old Bridge 2-0. So they were eliminated from the Central Jersey Group 4 playoffs. Girls soccer was also eliminated. They lost to Monroe 7-0. Sorry, girls. On November 5th, the boys soccer team, they defeated South Brunswick 1-0 in round 1 of the Central Jersey Group 4 playoff. Congratulations to the boys on that victory. Unfortunately, on Friday, they were defeated by Princeton 3-0, and they were eliminated in the second round of the Group 4 tournament. That being said, fall sports has come to an end. We want to congratulate all of our fall athletes for their hard work and efforts during the fall season. Boys soccer finished the year 6-8-4 on the year. Girls soccer was 8-10-2. Football was 0-9. Z Sports was 3-4. Girls tennis was 3-12. And girls volleyball was 4-21. Coming up very soon, we've got winter sports. So stay tuned for boys and girls basketball, boys and girls wrestling. Hopefully boys and girls bowling will be back. Boys and girls winter track and winter Z Sports. There's only a limited amount of time left on the fall weight room. 2:45 to 4 o'clock. See Coach Allen for more information, and stay tuned for information about winter weight room. And again, if you're interested in boys and girls bowling, see Coach Oviedo in D215 by the end of the week and join the Google Classroom, VAMTL4Z, and let's get the bowling teams out of the gutter. There's an interest meeting for Z Sports today after school in the Media Center, and their winter season starts on December 3rd. Now, Miss Rolfs, you watch the program, right? You know what's next? I'm going to say go Zebras, but we're going to say it at the same time,
yes.
and you're going to say it as long as I say it.
Okay.
You ready? Deep breath.
For this.
Go Zebras! Go Zebras indeed.
You're listening to the Zebra Podcast Network. Your school, your voice.
All right. It is Veterans Day. It's November 11th, 2024. It is Maestro Monday, and we again are joined by Miss Rolfs of the English Department. Good morning, Miss Rolfs. How are you today?
Good morning. I'm great, Mr. Nessie. I'm hanging in there. After a long break, I'm ready to get back in the swing of things. How about yourself?
I'm doing great. I'm well rested. I feel like I am also bright-eyed and bushy-tailed, so that's good for both of us.
Yes.
Let's get into getting to know you, because maybe not everybody here at the school knows who Miss Rolfs is. So we're gonna get deep on this. All right, here we go. Miss Rolfs, what do you teach here at New Brunswick High School?
So I currently teach English 11, which is the juniors, and I also teach social justice and civic engagement, which is now an elective course at New Brunswick High School.
That's awesome. What inspired you to get into education and become a teacher?
I mean, it's kind of like your basic story. I really enjoyed school growing up. I loved learning. I know it sounds corny, but I really connected to my teachers. I really respected the work they did. And I wanted to kind of follow in their footsteps. I had a lot of great role model teachers. And so I started doing research into different education programs. I can remember even as a young girl, like teaching to my stuffed animals. So it was something that was kind of just ingrained in me.
What drew you to English?
Well, I love stories. I always was like kind of a kid that read like mystery books in my spare time. My parents would take me to the library over the summers because I would usually have like a summer school reading assignment. So I would get really curious about different types of stories and take out a stack of books and just get lost in them. So I really enjoyed that. And I kind of wanted to teach other kids how to kind of find their joy in reading and as well as writing. Like I always wrote when I was a child too. Like I would come home with like a little poetry book and it was like silly rhymes at first, like roses are red, violets are blue, things like that. And then I started to write my own poetry later on. And I'm actually going back to school right now for creative writing. So I've always been pursuing reading and writing.
So was English and language arts your favorite subject in school, or just something that you excelled at?
A little bit of both. I was good at it, so obviously you're going to want to pursue something that you feel confident in. But I also was interested in history. I took a couple of electives that were really interesting, like a ethics course, a current events course, a philosophy course. So I don't know. I kind of just pursued all avenues, and then I settled on English because, again, it was like a strong suit, and it interested me.
What is the worst part of teaching English?
Oh boy, I don't want to get myself in trouble here. No, I'm just kidding. I think, well, like what any teacher faces is you have apprehensive students sometimes that don't believe in themselves. And therefore, it takes a lot to maybe convince them that they can do certain things. And even like writing a paper or writing a poem is so daunting to kids. And I have to remind them that it's all a formula, just like math. And once you get down the formula and the basics, you then have a toolkit and you can really do anything. So that's probably the hardest part, is just the apprehension at first.
What is the best part about what you do with kids?
Just seeing them improve. Having a kid go from writing a sentence that's maybe grammatically wonky and incorrect to then excelling in writing whole essays, like, at the snap of a finger. It's really rewarding to see their growth and their boost in confidence once they do improve and get the skills.
That's awesome.
Mm-hmm.
If you weren't a teacher, what career options were you also considering?
So funny you ask. When I told my family I was going to school for education, they were like, "Oh, really? Are you sure?" And I got a lot of like pushback. All my parents and family members were telling me, "Go into healthcare, become a nurse. You'll always have a job," which love our nurses, and the healthcare system is a very stable job, obviously, but I couldn't deal with needles and the things that were involved with that career. So I considered maybe doing law, and I didn't want to be a prosecutor and like the star of the show in the courtroom, but I loved research, reading, things like that. I did a a thesis in college that was like 65 pages. So I had to research a lot. So I was comfortable with that and considered being a paralegal maybe to work under a lawyer. But then I looked into the pay and the lifestyle, and I was like, wow, this just isn't worth it. I'd rather go with my passion and what I feel I'll really excel at, which is teaching. And
For teaching, was it the pay or the lifestyle?
honestly, I always knew that I wanted flexibility in a career because in high school I was very active. Like I was a peer leader, I did student council, I did a bunch of choirs, the musical. So I didn't know down the line, would I want to perform in a local theater in the summers or did I want to travel? And so teaching gave me the flexibility. And obviously you don't do it for the pay, but
That's true. That's true. I mean, some places you could.
yeah.
Now, you mentioned a theater. Do you do community theater? Are you active on stage? Can we see Miss Rolfs in a production anytime soon?
No, but I do have a collection of DVDs that my mom purchased for when I was acting in theater in high school. So I do have some like hidden.
There is the Criterion Rolfs collection.
Yeah, there's like a vault of hidden DVDs where you could definitely see me on stage.
What are some of the shows that you have performed in?
Well, the most embarrassing one to discover would probably be the recorded version of Shrek, the musical, because I was.
I don't see you as a Shrek.
Well, I was like Mama Shrek. So there's like an opening scene where the parents of Shrek are like wishing him well, like 'cause
Yes.
he's like leaving the swamp or they're kicking him out. I forget which one. And so I had to sing in that opening number. So I was green for that. And then I was one of the three little pigs. Yeah.
That's great.
Yeah. Well, because there was three pigs. They needed the harmonies and I could harmonize. So it worked out.
Okay, that's cool. You've given us a little taste into my next question, but I will still ask it. When you are not teaching, what are some of your hobbies and things you like to do outside of the classroom and your job?
Definitely getting outside and into nature. I love going for long walks, so much so that if I ask my mom to join me, she'll be like, no, you walk too far. And she'll tell me she's like too tired. So yeah, just walking outside. I don't know. I love to just read and write. I mean, I'm doing that for class anyway. And seeing friends, working out. I'm big into fitness and I do a bunch of different classes. I'm actually a little bit sore from the gym.
Good for you. No pain, no gain, right?
Exactly.
This is why we do it live. No. Next question. Whether professionally or personally, who was your greatest motivator or advocate or inspiration?
Great question. I don't know. I've had so many great role models throughout my life. I would say my grandmother, for sure. She used to be a theater teacher, actually. And my mom told me stories about her coming home and the curtains being missing because she was creating an outfit for somebody. So she was very creative and like eccentric, and she definitely inspired me. She was a professional singer as well back in the day. And my grandfather was a professional piano player and like composer. So he worked on Broadway shows and things like that. So we all kind of have that musicality. And my mother, she's a born and bred writer as well. I get a lot of my writing skill set from her. She actually published a children's book.
Really?
On Amazon based off of a poem she wrote.
Please shout out the book.
Yeah, it's called Laundry for Five because we were a family of five.
Okay.
And it's about like finding little socks under the bed and her kind of like carrying this load of laundry down the stairs and things are like falling out. And it's very cute. You can find it on Amazon. So I don't know how much it is. But
I'm going to link to it. If you're listening to this as the podcast or even watch it on YouTube, I'm going to include the link to your mom's book.
that would be awesome. Yeah, I'm very proud of her. This has like been a lifelong dream of hers. And I'm sure she's going to publish more too.
And I'm sure she's proud of you too.
Yeah, I think so.
Now, as we wrap up this conversation, one, thank you for coming in and being a part of the program. Last two questions. What is some sage wisdom or advice that you can impart on our student body? Because not everybody's going to get to have you as their teacher, but here's an opportunity for you to teach everybody.
Yeah, I mean, number one is I always tell my students this, just do it, just get involved, try something new. Whether that's taking a class that you think might be a little challenging or hard, don't shy away from it. I almost dropped out of my philosophy class because I was like way and over my head and overwhelmed with the material. And then I ended up minoring in it in college. So you never know what you're going to discover as a new interest. And make the most of your time here because you never get this time back. So, you know, whether it's doing the choir or doing the podcast, these are some really unique opportunities that you might not have time for in the future. So make the most of it.
All right. And I think the answer to my final question might be in what you just said, but we'll see. If you could get a message up on the digital sign out front, and it could be up there for a week, and everybody driving by, walking by the school could see it, what message would you put up?
Oh, man. Probably something regarding like every day being a new start or a new opportunity. I just feel that although we have so many issues in our country that divide us, we're very blessed to live here. We really do get a fresh start each day. There's so many resources out there that we can utilize to be successful in life. So yeah, just take each day as it comes and don't stress yourself out too much about what's in the future.
I love it. Miss Rolfs is an English teacher here at New Brunswick High School, and she has joined us on Maestro Monday. Thank you so much, Miss Rolfs. Have a wonderful day.
Thank you, Mr. Nessie. You as well.
All right. Wave goodbye and say goodbye.
Bye, everybody.
Thank you for listening to the Zebra Morning Show. Please tell a friend to help spread the word. Word of mouth is the best way to help us grow. Be sure to follow us on social media. We're on X, Instagram, and Threads at Zebra Podcast Net. Visit our website at zebrapodcastnetwork.com where you can learn about joining us. And don't forget to send us your announcements and shout-outs. Have a great day, Zebra Nation.